Have you ever noticed that the more you chase something, the more it seems to slip away? Like the harder you try to force it, the more it resists. Welcome to Manifestation Matters. Today we're going to deep dive into the power of attracting things rather than pursuing
Oh,
them,
this is going to be good.
especially when it comes to relationships and other things we desire. We're going to be looking at the psychology behind this, we'll be talking about self-worth, and we'll also be exploring the very fascinating power of thought.
I love this topic. I think it's going to be really helpful for a lot of people.
Me too. And if you've ever felt like you're constantly striving and yet the things you want just stay out of reach, then this is definitely the deep dive for you. So let's just jump right into it. What's the core difference between chasing something and creating an environment where it's drawn to you?
Okay, well, right off the bat, we're talking about the difference between actively chasing a goal or, a connection and cultivating a state where those things are just naturally gravitating towards you.
Yeah.
And the psychology of neediness is really interesting here. And one of the things we notice is this idea that the need repels, but security attracts.
It's almost like it's the opposite of what we think we should be doing right.
Right.
It makes me think of when you're at the grocery store and you're really focused on finding a certain type of snack.
Uh-huh.
The more you look for it, the harder it is to find.
Yeah.
But then when you kind of relax and you just start browsing, there it is.
You're not even thinking about it, and there it is.
Yeah, it's like the energy of desperately wanting it actually pushes it away.
For sure.
And then taking that and scaling it up to like life goals or relationships, there's this idea that pursuing is the formula for failure. And I feel like that's a really strong statement, but it does make you stop and think, am I doing this all wrong?
Yeah. It really does. And if we think about the psychology behind it, that constant pursuit often can be perceived as like a lack of something within yourself. So someone who's always clamoring for attention, they can unintentionally signal that they might lack that validation internally. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on why you think this persistent pursuit can backfire?
Well, I think it can come across as a lack of self-reliance or like even desperation. It's like if you're holding on to something too tightly, you might crush it or make it want to get away.
For sure.
I think the energy that we project when we're constantly chasing can be frantic.
Yeah.
Like we're broadcasting that we're not whole or complete without this specific person or thing or outcome. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's spot on. And I think that's where emotional intelligence comes in. This is where we can actually shift gears from this mode of chasing to attracting.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the key elements that we've seen is this idea of not always being readily available. And just to be very clear, this isn't about being manipulative or playing games. It's really about healthy boundaries and understanding your own value and the value of your time and energy.
I thought this was so interesting because there's a parallel here with brands that are really successful. Think about the brands that everyone wants. It's like they have this air of scarcity or exclusivity, and it's not even in a negative way. It's just in a way that communicates value and desirability.
Absolutely.
If you're always accessible or saying yes or dropping everything, it can actually unintentionally lower how others perceive you. It's like if something's constantly on sale or discounted, you start to wonder, what was it worth in the first place?
That is such a good analogy. And this ties directly into the principle of self-worth. So when you demonstrate through your actions and boundaries that your time and your priorities are important, you're actually projecting this aura of self-respect and security. We see that if you show yourself too accessible, you lose value. And again, this isn't about being aloof or uncaring. It's about recognizing your own inherent value and just living a balanced life.
So I guess it's not about making it difficult for people to reach you or anything like that. It's more about genuinely living your life, being engaged, having your own interests and commitments.
Exactly.
And then I think when you are secure and confident in yourself, that becomes an attractive quality. People are just drawn to confidence and independence.
Absolutely. Now, we also see that this exploration goes even further. It touches upon a more metaphysical aspect of attraction, and that is the law of attraction. And this introduces the idea that our thoughts and emotions operate on a certain vibrational frequency, and that like attracts like.
Right, so this is where things get really interesting. We're saying that everything in the universe, including us and our thoughts, vibrates at a frequency.
Right.
And if we're constantly focused on what we don't have or what's missing, we're putting out a negative vibration, and according to this principle, that's going to attract more negativity.
Exactly.
But if we can shift our focus to abundance and really visualize and feel as if we already have what we want, then we're shifting our vibration to a more positive frequency.
Yes, and this is where visualization comes in. It's not just daydreaming. It's about creating a very vivid mental image of yourself, already having achieved whatever it is that you desire, and really feeling those emotions that come along with it.
Hmm.
And the belief is that by consistently doing this, you're aligning your energetic frequency with what you want to bring into your life.
So it's like you're training your subconscious mind to believe that you already have it, and that's going to influence your actions and the energy you're putting out into the world.
Exactly.
It's definitely a very interesting perspective.
It is, and it requires an open mind. Now, one thing that's really important to consider with this idea is the concept of free will.
Right.
So, while the law of attraction suggests that we can influence our reality, it's also important to remember that everyone has their own choices and their own path.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't and we shouldn't try to control specific outcomes that involve other people.
I think that's a really important point because it keeps it from becoming manipulative. It's more about focusing on our own inner state and the energy we're projecting rather than trying to force someone to do something or a certain situation to happen.
Exactly. And what we often see with this is that sometimes a desire might not manifest in the exact way that we envisioned it.
Okay.
And the idea is that maybe that's because something even better is on its way.
Something more aligned with our true purpose.
Exactly. So it's about maintaining that trust and being open to possibilities beyond what we can currently see.
So to sum up all of this, if someone wants to shift from constantly chasing to attracting what they desire, what are the key things to remember?
I think the first key step is awareness. Recognizing when you are in that state of relentless pursuit and consciously making the choice to take a step back and allow things to come to you. The second vital element is actively working on your self-worth. When you feel whole and complete within yourself, that just radiates outward, and that is inherently attractive. And finally, I think exploring techniques like visualization can be really powerful for aligning your thoughts and energy with your desires, and all while remaining open to the many ways those desires might manifest.
So it's not about frantically trying to grasp at something. It's more about cultivating the kind of inner environment where those things are naturally drawn to you. And as we see, love is not begged, it is attracted.
That's a beautiful quote.
It's about embodying the qualities and having the mindset that resonates with what you truly desire.
I think it's also important to remember that this isn't about manipulation or trying to control others. It's really about personal growth and well-being, and understanding that what you project outwards has a huge impact on what you experience in return.
Yeah, I think that's a really powerful takeaway. So as you go about your day, consider how shifting your focus from what you feel you lack to the value that you already possess might change your approach to achieving your goals and having those really meaningful connections.
It's definitely something to think about. A subtle shift internally can often lead to really profound changes in your outer reality.
That's a really good point. And that brings us to the end of this deep dive. If you enjoyed it and found these insights valuable, we would really appreciate it if you would like this video, subscribe for more deep dives, and leave a comment below with your thoughts.
We love hearing from you.
And if you know someone who might benefit from this conversation, please share it with them. Thanks for joining us on Manifestation Matters.